What does gaslighting sound like? Forget what it is by definition. What does it sound like so you can recognize if this has happened to you, if you've encountered someone who is a gaslighter? Gaslighting sounds like this. That's not what happened. Or, you shouldn't feel that way. Or, that's not how you feel. This is how you feel. Or, that's not what you said. You said this. Gaslighting attempts to diminish your reality and invalidates your emotions. You don't get to feel that way, says the gaslighter. When the rest of us reasonable people say, I get to feel however I want. What are you talking about? This isn't even a conversation. You're literally attacking me. I brought up something and now you're trying to flip it. Ding, 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 and bingo. That's exactly what the gaslighter does. Not only are they diminishing and trying to rip your reality away from you and project a false reality, but they're also tending to accuse you of the very things they themselves are guilty of. So if you find yourself in conversations with what you call an unreasonable person, and you notice that, wait a minute, all these things that this person is saying to me happen to be the things that they're doing to me, not the other way around, you know you're probably dealing with a gaslighter. And gaslighters also tend to be narcissists. So what do you do with that? Because the advice that I would love to give you is just get away from this person. You don't need to deal with someone who isn't willing to acknowledge the things you're saying or acknowledge what you see as a perfectly reasonable reality given the conversations you've had. But that's not always possible. What if this person is your father, your mother, or a sibling, and you can't get away? Well, what you have to do is first understand this. People, all people, can only operate at their highest level of awareness. So if someone's awareness of life only revolves around them, and they literally seem incapable of putting themselves in someone else's shoes because they can't keep their eyes off of their own shoes, well, then you're only going to get so far. If you're trying to explain to someone, for example, how much you love your new Hummer, and this person has been fighting for 20 years for fossil fuels to be eradicated because of the damage it's doing to the planet, they're not going to celebrate the Hummer. So that's kind of an extreme example, but if you're dealing with someone who has gaslit you, they are going to be a person who is totally unwilling to compromise. To be honest, we don't have tons of clinical research, but in my opinion, they don't even have the capacity to compromise. A narcissist, a gaslighter, only has the ability to operate from the number one person in their life, which is them. And when they see a situation that requires compromise, they see it as a fight, a battle. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're always someone trying to tell me what to do. But even in that statement, you can see how the person has just made this all about them. Ma'am, sir, whoever you are, I have a lot more going on in my life than just wanting to tell you what to do. I'm having a conversation with you, trying to express my side of the story, where I'm coming from, in hopes that you'll meet me halfway. But you're so unwilling to do that. Unfortunately, when you try to say this to someone who is unreasonable, they're only going to dismiss it and try to flip it back on you. And they will also try and gaslight you to the point where they make you snap. They fulfill this projection that they're trying to put on you. And they'll say things like, well, you just don't like me. To the point where you want to say, you're right. I don't like you. Even if this is someone you love because they are a family member, you can still love them and not like them at the same time. My grandmother was the one that gave me permission first to understand this. Just because you're related to someone doesn't mean you have to like them all the time. That is not a prerequisite of having a DNA match with someone else. But what we do as good people is we try to give the benefit of the doubt more to the people that we are related to. Because, number one, we're stuck with these people for all of our lives. And we have spent so much time in our lives with these people, and we want the relationship to go smooth. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do with a person who likely, if they got help, would be diagnosed with probably some personality disorders, narcissism, and someone who is gaslighting you. You can't do anything to change their mind. They are in this space of dissonance where they have created their own reality, even though from the outside looking in, they're a contradiction of that reality. This video should only be serving for those people who are victims of the gaslighter and what you can do to protect yourself. Number one, don't let this person diminish your reality. They can say whatever they want, but don't let it change your level of awareness of the situation. Try not to get angry. That's number two. Because when you do, all you're doing is validating their weird narrative. And it's a weird narrative. You can also become unwilling to compromise. If they're not willing to meet you halfway, you don't need to bend all the way backwards, snapping your back into in order to cater to this person and thereby enabling them. Don't enable these people. Now, they won't like it, and they might pitch a fit or do something the emotional equivalent of a 4 or 5-year-old, but that doesn't mean that you should be doing it just to avoid that tantrum. Sometimes the best thing to do is to literally say, when I started out this situation with you, I wanted to get to this end result. We weren't able to get there, and now I'm stressed out about it. And because I'm stressed, I don't want to continue this conversation, plan, whatever it is with you. Not right now. This doesn't mean I don't love you or care for you. You can internalize that however you're going to internalize that, because I can't control you and the narratives going on in your brain. But you are not going to alter my reality, nor my life, nor the path I'm on, just so you can get your way, because this is a never-ending hamster wheel. I get no benefit out of this. I would rather maintain a relationship of peacefulness and not force myself into a situation that causes me more stress. And then you leave it and you let it be. And that person gets to have their tantrum or whatever they need to do and become a victim, whatever. That is a dumb word, I get it, saying whatever, but it's literally whatever at some point. When you've done the best you can to try to meet some sort of compromise with people, and they are totally unwilling always to meet you halfway, then you have to let those particular situations go, let it rest. Because what will happen is this person will flip everything, always, to self-fulfill the narrative they have about themselves. And deep down, what they have is low self-esteem, but, oh, you can't say that because another gas bomb ignition will go off. But you have to just understand that no matter what you do or say, you're always going to lose in these situations. And that pattern is super unhealthy, and so you have to put that on them. Not verbally, not for them to hear, but in your own mind, in your own circle, with the people that are reasonable, know you, and understand you. Understand that this isn't a you problem, it's a them problem. And so often in life, that's the case. And you do not get to take certain things personal. When people are being totally unreasonable, you don't get to take it personal when that unreasonable person calls you unreasonable. You can hear it. Yes, the words are coming out of their mouth, but you don't have to internalize that, and you certainly don't need to feel guilty for it. Guilt belongs when you have done something genuinely wrong. It's also something that the gaslighter or the narcissist or the sociopath or whatever personality disorder might be going on here, that's something that they should be feeling in terms of guilt, but they can't. So don't take on whatever guilt they should be having on you. What they are trying to do is for you to take the ownership of whatever has gone wrong in this conversation, and just don't do it. Don't do it to avoid however they're going to react. Don't do it just to make things easier, because ultimately it's enabling. And enabling never makes things better. It's a Band-Aid, and it's not even a good Band-Aid. It's not a waterproof Band-Aid. It's a highly rippable Band-Aid. It's no good. I hope that this helped some of you guys out there. If you are just dealing with someone you find totally and completely unreasonable, and you're questioning yourself and asking, am I the one being unreasonable? The answer is no, it is not you. If it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, it's a duck. I hope you guys have a good day, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.